I want you to tell me about your earliest experience knowing that you wanted to be a musician. Like the first time, because your dad was a musician, right?
Yep.
And so what was the first time, because my dad was a musician also.
Yeah.
We both got exposed at a young age.
Yeah.
And what was like the first, memory where you're like, this is so cool, I want to do this, before you could actually do it?
Well, my neighbor sold a drum set, and my dad, I saw it, and he bought it for me, and it was like the greatest thing ever. But,
so before that,
but I don't remember any musical. No, I didn't play drums at all. I just got a drum set one day.
Had you ever seen your father play or anything?
Not really. But then right after that, I saw him playing more. He was kind of more of a, he quit after high school and then, had a real job. And then all of a sudden he got back into guitar, and then he bought the music store. And so then. That's
an interesting story unto itself, right? Getting back into it and deciding to take on a
And I think a lot of people are doing that now too. Yeah, that was cool. I think he got sick of his job. He's like, this is, he bought Music Villa on a whim, like on a weekend. I mean, he came in, and the story goes, he just said, do you want to sell it? And they said, yeah. And it was like, done deal over the weekend. He went to the bank and borrowed some money, and it was like nothing.
That's when you could just go. That's cool.
But I'm going to tell you in a minute I'll tell you some milestones of where things changed my life for music. But first of all, we're going to do a little cornhole. I got this from my beautiful wife. Yeah. For MV on there, and for my 50th. Yeah, right?
You can see it on this.
So when you turn 50, I guess you got to start playing cornhole.
Well, it's because you're slowing down.
Yes.
And you need something where
you can't be
you're not running around shooting hoops or playing hockey or whatever.
This starts coming in, everything changes. Hair grows out your ears and stuff.
This is what they would refer to as a life sport.
Yes. Right? Yes. So we're gonna play, and already, Quinton's, I heard you complaining about. You said you had a shoulder injury.
I got a cortisone shot in this AC joint a few months ago. So
we're gonna go to 11.
So, you were saying there was nothing that really inspired you. I can tell you, for me, my father had a band practice at our house one night, and I saw the drummer play, and there were these old guys. They were probably, must have been 30, super old. Yeah. When you're like 4 or 5.
Exactly.
And the drummer was so obnoxious, and it was big shiny things doing all this stuff. So the story goes that I went into the kitchen, pulled out all the pots and pans, and I made a drum set around me, and I was banging on it so loud that they had to come in and have me stop because I was interfering with their rehearsal for whatever song they were playing.
I like it.
So I wanted to be a drummer when I first started.
As you should. Everyone wants to be a drummer.
And that lasted until middle school, when as much as I could play some serious Sunday Bloody Sunday. Yeah. But that was about the extent of my chops at the time. So
I guess, like I said, I don't remember the moments when I first got the drum set, but after that, then same thing. I remember my dad's band practicing. Yeah. And then it was like, all those memories of, but what about this though? So then, what are those moments where a record just changed your life? Like, I have a few phases in life. I remember one, for example, like I said, junior high. No, not junior high, it was high school. And I got in my friend's car, and he popped in the new Guns N' Roses, and I was like, it blew my mind. I never heard of it.
Are you talking Appetite?
Appetite, the first Guns N' Roses, yeah. And it was like new at the time, and I was just like, what is this? And it blew my mind.
So I can tell you
the first... But, goes back, of course, way earlier to other albums.
The first album that blew my mind, again, it was in middle school, and, I wanted to be a drummer. So the first time I heard Exit Stage Left, Tom Sawyer.
So I'm with you there, too.
And it's the big, breakdown where Pert does the long roll all the way around his toms. Yep. And so that killed me. Of course,
I was in that phase too, and I went and got the roto tom so I could try to get as many as I could to do. Yeah,
exactly.
I was the same way. Rush was a big one for me.
And then the next album that I listened to, that again, because there was one song that it was easy enough to play drums with, was Physical Graffiti, 2 records. Yeah. With the really cool sleeves and all that stuff, and I would put cashmere in because all you had to do was go like this, da da dum, da da dum, And I could do that for hours and upset my neighbors because it was so
Love
loud.
that one. Love that one.
I used to go to sleep with that album just
what was cool,
really softly,
your parents
but on
sound like
repeat.
they were cool too. Like my parents let me have, I had a stereo in my room and I had the records and we cranked it and it was cool. They let me play, you know, I mean, Motley Crue was a big one. Like there's all these like, you know, these moments in Van Halen and all these different moments.
In middle school, when you're at the height of your teen angst and all kinds of frustration, nice bag.
There you go. I got another one there for you.
There it is. It was a wonderful way to get the aggression out.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I had
after a long, hard day of PE and whatever, you know.
I had the drums set up in my house, in my room, and posters like, you know, ceiling everywhere. I'm surprised my mom actually let me do that, you know, now that I think back about it.
Yeah.
Posters everywhere.
Yeah.
Every wall was tacked up and,
yeah, it was, you know,
with rock posters and Lonnie Anderson.
Yeah, Lonnie. So it was also in middle school when I really took an interest in guitar, right? And primarily because I thought this is going to help me get in with the ladies. Like if I could be good at this, you know,
they'd like you.
Then maybe, because you know at the time my heroes were Joshua Tree just came out, you know, and
that was a big one for me too.
People, and I thought these guys, these rock stars, these musicians are so cool. And you know, my primary motivation at the time was to be impressive to young ladies.
Be cool.
Yeah, to try and be cool. And so that's what motivated me.
Well,
and then
that's a motivator.
Yeah, you know, so I started picking up guitar, and the drum thing kind of slipped away because
it was tough for you.
It was.
You were just a natural guitar player.
I wasn't coordinated enough to do the drum thing, but yeah, that's when I picked up the guitar.
Yep.
What else?
So high school, so it was cool. You know, junior high and all that. We were doing the skate palace and we were rocking. You know, different than today. You don't see young kids really doing that as much.
Like having a band.
Like there's always a DJ or something. You know,
yeah,
it's different.
Exactly.
So.
So, you know, I think if you talk to any musician, they're going to be able to circle back to some moment, some time, if not a precise moment, when they're like, this is what I want to do. I saw somebody, I was in the moment, and the music captured my imagination. You're like, I want to do what they're doing, or what this individual's doing, or what my dad was doing.
Or your first girlfriend, or this or that. There's always moments, and you remember those songs.
Yeah.
You know, lately, you know, I've been coming out here with my kids, and we play so much music, and it's all we do the whole time. Yeah. And every time one comes on, I'm always like, oh, this is my favorite. And they're like, Dad, everyone's your favorite. Yeah. I bet there's so many, and it always brings me to a point in time.
Right.
Every song, and it's great. Music is just the greatest thing ever.